Shh. Net Man back with you. We're gonna go hunting for some wild clay. Let me get my dogs out. There we go.
What is it? What is it? What is it? What is it, Stella?
Yeah, they told me to dig right here. I should have known. Net Man back with you. No sense processing all of that soil I got unless I know what's in it. So I'm going to do a test here. It's going to be, I got some of the original soil I cleaned up, broke up a little bit. I got a jar, it's calibrated. That's 1 cup, that's 2 cups. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and fill this up to the 1 cup mark. Now we go ahead and add a good measure of water. I'll go up to the 2 cup mark. A little more. There we go. Put a lid on it. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Now we're hit the stopwatch. I'm going to put it on fast forward. Okay, so it's been about a little over 12 minutes. We got a real good separation, so I don't know how good this is showing up. But if you look, there's definitely at the 1/2 cup mark a gritty layer and then a fine layer up to the 1 cup mark. So there's definitely enough clay there. The top strata there is clay, and there's definitely enough there for us to keep. First is I'm going to take our sample here, give it a good shake again. We'll dump it in this first bucket. Oh, messy, messy. Yeah. Over there. Add a little more. Give it a nice stir. Get all that broken up. Just by breaking it up on the bottom, that I'm kind of 2 different things going on. So now on this one, just give it, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll go ahead and we'll just decant this one into this one until the junk starts falling in. Good. See all the junk? We'll leave that right there. Do some more. More water. Good stir again. Okay, really don't need to do a long separation on this stuff because I'm going to strain it into here, and in this one here we're going to accumulate the final clay product that'll be all strained out. So I'm going to go ahead and pour that in there to the point. I'm going to go ahead and get it all and pull the strainer off and give it a little clean. Not much in there. All right, now we're going to go ahead and let this settle. It's been a good 20 minutes. So this is the end product here. I'm going to go ahead and dump it into our first heavy separation. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so this is the end of the first wash and separation. All the heavies go to the bottom. Clay stays suspended. No weighting necessary. This one is been poured off. Still has hardly any heavies in it, but it's still got organics and maybe a few things, so we're just going to let that settle again. And this is clay right here with a lot of water. So we'll just start getting rid of the water. Get it all, the clay in here. Get rid of the water. Let's see what we end up with. Okay, I've been all through that original container. If you remember, it was about one of these containers, about 2/3 full. This represents all the heavies. It's about a 1/2 inch on the bottom of the container. This is the clay I managed to remove. I'm surprised at how much there really is. Still real soupy, still a lot of water in it, but I'm going to separate this when I have more of it, and there's a method you can use with a pillowcase to dry all this out, and we'll get to that later. And then what I'm going to do here to have something to play with is take some of this and just put it in this container right here. Let's get a good amount here. There we go. And that's going to be something I'm going to test the quality of the clay. If I decide to keep all this, we're going to see how this turns out. So back with you when I have something to show. All right, this stuff is coming right along. It's thickening up. It's getting some elasticity. Still pretty wet and sticky. I think a couple more hours and we're going to have some work. It's really thickening up. I'm trying to avoid using the obvious simile here, so we'll say it's like chocolate. It's really stiffening up. I think next time I come around, I'm going to have it wadded in a ball and start kneading it, but already I can tell that this was a success. Well, that firmed up rather nicely. Here's the last test. Look at that, it's still sticky, but that's going to work. Get that some elasticity. Just work that good. Look at that, comes right up. Let's give this thing a... Look at that. One would think that was real clay. So we're calling that a success. Let's see here. Matt Man's back. This is the original soil out of the ground. It goes in here, gets whipped up, dumped in here, through a filter, and I got clay on the bottom. Okay, now what I'm going to do is start the process over again. I'm going to take this relatively clean water here, dump it into this bucket till the clay starts coming out. We'll just leave that. Put the paint filter back on. We'll put a little more soil in there. I think this will be it because I'm going to have plenty of clay for what I want to do next. I think that's good right there. Take a little bit of, go ahead and take the drill with the paints, and you count it down. You go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That gives everything, the heavies, a chance to settle. Go ahead and dump it right in there. That's all the just go ahead and try to get as much out of this as we can. We'll take that, drop it in there. I'll clean that filter up, turn it inside out, get all the crap out of it, rinse it out, use it over and over and over again. They're great. All right, now we let this settle out. Pour the clean water back into there, and I'm just going to keep whipping this until the water doesn't cloud up anymore. I've already got this one all done. This probably has 3-4 inches of clay on the bottom of it, so we're going to end up with a lot of clay. Back later. All right, right here is the clay we got out of the dirt. All separated out, still a lot of water in it. We're gonna dump it into a pillowcase I got right here. When you do it with the outside, the seam out, so you're pouring to the outside, the good side of the pillowcase. There we go. Give it a quick thick in there. Let us scrape all that out. I am very surprised how much clay there is. All right, still a lot in there, but we will let that go. Well, that water does not want to come out of there. Hey, Matt Man's back. Well, I had quite an adventure since we've last met. I got all of that clay, filtered clay into a single bucket and poured off all the water and got it into a thickened, soupy state. And I poured it into this pillowcase right here. And it's, every video I saw, it said use a real thread count, and I either have one made out of a different material or the thread count is super high because it just would not drain. 10 days it went and I had that thing just dripping, so I could finally get this lump here. This is about a half of it. See how sticky it is. Anyway, this clay, it's kind of drying out, it's kind of workable. I've worked a bunch of it into a ball like this, and it's very, very pliable, very elastic. And so I put them in there, and I just put them in a bucket here, cover it up, and then it sits, and then I can do it all together, wedge a big block. So I'll just show you what I did here. Here's the fun part. Reach in, grab a big old blob, drop it on the lid. Oh. Look at how sticky it still is. Now this will dry pretty much in, I think overnight. And then I'll be able to work it, and I'll move it over to this board, knead it, wedge it, get it into a ball, put it in a plastic carrier bag, and put it in a bucket like that till I get all of that done. And then I'm going to wedge it all into one big block. And I should be back when that's done. Okay, well this is how these lumps dry out. It's a little stiffer. This is called wedging. Just want to get the clay to be all one consistency all the way through. Still pretty sticky. Alright, that's not too bad. So just get it to form it into a ball. Put it in a carrier bag. Doesn't dry out. I'll be back with the next one. Alright, this is the last of the unwedged stuff. All right. So we got that one. We got this one. You know, I'm pretty happy with this. It's still pretty sticky, but it is very dense. And I think for my purposes, dense is a good thing. I remember I'm trying to make a crucible out of this, and it's got to hold up to a lot of temperature. Alright, I think I'm going to call it a video here. So I collected all this clay. So my next step is to get grog, which is a tempering agent for the clay, and it's usually in the form of sands or ground up seashells, or a lot of different things depending on what you want to use the clay for. So since I'm going after dense and for a crucible, I think I'm going to go and try to get heavy sands, and that's going to be the next project. See you then.